afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Fellow Toastmasters and dear guests, I'm Abhinya Bhaskaran and I will be the Sergeant at Arms today as well. And I would like to welcome you all to the 879th Medley meeting. Before we start the session, I would like to mention the 3 ground rules which we follow in all our Toastmaster sessions. The first one being, as Toastmasters, we don't talk about sex, religion and politics. So please refrain from discussing these topics. The second being, please turn off your mobile phones or put them on silent mode. I kindly request you guys to take some time to put your phone in silent mode for now. And lastly, please do not cross-talk and interrupt the ongoing session. The mission of our Toastmaster Club is to provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. With this, I hand over the stage to our presiding officer for the day. I would like to introduce Toastmaster Rajashekaran. He is a dedicated public servant and research scholar with over 15 years of experience in the aviation industry. And his favorite quote is, "Life's too short to play small with your talents." Toastmaster Rajashekaran.
Thank you, Toastmaster Abhinya, for setting the ground rules for the meeting. The sound of this given, I declare meeting number 879 open. So I warmly welcome all the senior Toastmasters and guests for today's meeting. We have multiple guests are here, and I would like to call few people to get an introduction as well as their why they have come here. So first I invite guest Shruti. Please introduce yourself. How many know about today?
Hello everyone, I'm Shruti. So I've been visiting Toastmasters for a couple of weeks, like 5 or 6 months back. I was not able to join due to few reasons. So I wanted to join Toastmasters to enhance my leadership and communication skills. That's about it.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Shruti. I hope you are whatever you want to achieve, mainly will support. And I'd like to call one more guest Rizwan. Please introduce yourself and how you want to know about me.
Okay, so my name is Rizwan. I'm working as an implementation consultant. Recently, I got promoted as team lead. So that is the reason I just want to improve my communication skills and leadership skills. And I'm also the ex-Toastmaster and some other club.
Yes, sir.
Madras Toastmaster. So that became my comfort zone. I don't want that comfort zone. I'm looking for some senior person like you, sir. So
Thank you.
I have visited a couple of times the Medley. Medley is a bit difficult to handle the audience. So there are many seniors I could see. So I just want to enhance myself. I just want to see the better version of me. That is the reason I just came here. I hope I'll join the class.
All the best. Thank you, Mr. Rizwan, for introducing himself. Today, I'd like to share some interesting information with you all. So, do you know when this car windshield wiper is designed or founded by someone? Windshield wiper, year or person?
It was
Anyone?
a woman.
Huh?
It was a woman, but I don't know.
Yeah. After.
Germany, it's from Germany and we have
Okay. Any other guesses? Okay, so it was founded by Mary Anderson in 1903. Okay. So what makes this interesting information? Actually, till date, more than a century later, the basic design of windshield wiper has not changed. So I want to draw parallel to our Toastmaster Club, where our meeting setting has not changed a bit. Very small changes they have done. So, but with this same setting, they are able to make an impact in millions of people's life. So, for the benefit of guests, Toastmasters International is a non-profit education institution founded by Ralph C. Medley in 1924. So here we will move on to the next session where we require our Toastmaster of the day, who is our Toastmaster Dinesh Shekhar, who is a civil engineer and Toastmaster for last 7 years. I like to call him and he will carry forward the meeting.
Thank you, Presiding Officer Toastmaster Rajat. Good afternoon, Toastmasters and dear guests. Good afternoon. It gives me great pleasure to be the Toastmaster of the day today. As Toastmaster of the day, I am the MC for the whole meeting, and also it is my duty bound to reveal the theme of the day. The theme of the day today is "All that glitters is not gold." Can anyone know where this phrase was famously used?
In politics?
No. It was first used by William Shakespeare in his famous play The Merchant of Venice. When Portia, the heroine of the story, she wanted to select a suitable suitor, and the Prince of Morocco chose the gold casket because he thought that since she's the heroine, she should be worth the gold. But when he opened the casket, he found only a dead skull, and written on it was, "All that glitters is not gold." Today I choose this theme because I find many people couldn't find a smoke screen between what is true and what is false. A very good example I'll tell you. Last month, my friend he started an apparel shop a few years ago, and within a couple of years he had to shut down. I asked him, "You just ran a couple of years and you shut down. Why did you first of all open the shop when you had no idea how to run the shop?" He immediately took his phone and he showed me in Instagram a guy who has millions of followers. Probably many of you will be following him, and he says that I do so much of turnout in a single day. And in one video he says that I do 10 lakhs turnout in one shop in one day. It's just an apparel shop, and the apparel shop is just 1/3 of this hall, and they are selling t-shirts worth 300 rupees. Just looking at it, I know that this guy was bluffing very much. But my friend fell for it because he didn't have any previous business background as well. And this guy, this Instagram guy, he just posts many of his videos going in high-end Audi cars and Benz cars, and people just by that they fall for it. They give this franchise fees, and the people fall for it. And that's where I feel that the smoke screen has to be removed. That all that glitters is not gold. Even Toastmasters, many of us vaguely believe very famous and rich people. We may be the Eklavya in Mahabharata, who was in high regard for the Guru Dronacharya. Although he may be a very high person, but still he had a mild ego within him that only his student should be the best. And that's why Dronacharya asked for the thumb of the Eklavya. So it's very important for us. It's very important for us to find out what is gold and what is cold as well. With this, I will go for today's meeting. Today's meeting, we have a typical meeting where we will have 3 prepared speeches followed by the table topics with impromptu speech session where the guests and the members will be called upon, and finally the evaluation session as well. To help me conduct this session smoothly, I have another role player with me, the general evaluator Toastmaster Pravina Sriram. She is a corporate trainer and co-founder of Express and Talk Academy. They provide communication skills and personality development workshops for all. She is a volunteer in the NGO Our Fame Foundation. For her, the typical goal was that she didn't dye her hair for the past 1 year because for a very long time she always felt that outward experience is very much important, and she is very happy with having a white hair. But ma'am, we can talk on behalf of men that for us just having hair itself is important. Whether it be black or grey, ma'am. Over to you, Toastmaster Pravina Sriram.
You know what, Toastmaster finished? The moment I stopped coloring my hair started growing. And then it was falling and practically didn't have hair.
Okay.
So yeah, that is the secret. Evening, Toastmasters and the very many guests who are here. I am the general evaluator for this session. And what exactly is a general evaluator? Now, if you go on the road, especially on the highway, in many places you see you are under radar surveillance, right? And what is the instant reaction of people when they see that?
They're ready to speed up the car.
You immediately slow down. That is exactly my role over here. When you see a general evaluator, immediately everyone takes a great deal of caution to make sure that we all follow the guidelines prescribed by Toastmasters International so that we have a seamless and smooth take of this particular session. Okay, because at the very end, I will be coming and I'm going to be there watching with eagle eyes to see what is going wrong, so that the next time we don't do it. But jokes apart, I would any day want to say what is right over here rather than wrong, because till now we have been having an excellent session. All of us have been doing our role to the T. So I'm so glad about it. And like the election that happened now, this election happened smoothly, seamlessly, and it was just perfect. And there was so many new innovations that happened, like an eco-friendly booth and colorful booth, and I believe there were even places where it was child-friendly. Do you think all this must have been possible just with the Chief Election Commissioner? There were so many other people who were helping him, probably in lakhs. But here we have a very small team over here, which will be helping me to ensure that we have a kind of session that everyone will remember and try to implement it in your meetings per se. So there are two sets of evaluators, that role players that will be monitoring the session and ensuring that we do a great job, and that will be the quantitative as well as the qualitative team. Now currently I will be calling the quantitative team, which is the tag role players. They are nothing but the timer, R counter and grammarian. So what do they do? Now I'll be calling them and they will be explaining their role. Firstly, this person, she is a HR professional who works in an e-commerce firm in Chennai. So I asked her, what according to you is most glittering? She said the most glittering aspect in her life is the sparkle she sees in her children's eyes when they are truly happy. And that's none other than Toastmaster Harini.
Thank you, General Evaluator Toastmaster Pravina. Good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters and my dear guests. Today, as timer, I am going to time every speeches. We are going to have three sections for us. We have the catered topic session, we have prepared speeches, and we have evaluation. So I am going to time each of those speeches. For every speech, there is a minimum qualifying time. So at the end of the minimum qualifying time, I will be showing the green card, and towards the mid, if the duration is 4 to 7 minutes, at 4 I will show the green card, which is the minimum qualifying time, and at 5 minutes I will be showing the yellow card, and at the 6th minute I will be showing the red card, by which we will have to make a hard stop. So now I am going to indicate what is the time limit for each of those speeches. For table topic sessions, we have to speak for minimum 2 minutes. So at the end of 1 minute, I will be showing the green card. At the end of 1 minute 30 seconds, I will show the yellow card, and at the end of 2 minutes, I will raise the red card. For icebreaker speeches, the time limit is 4 to 6 minutes. At 4 minutes, I will be showing the green card. At 5th minute, I will be showing the yellow card, and at the 6th minute, I will show the red card. So for rest of the other prepared speeches, the time limit is 5 to 7 minutes. At the end of 5th minute, I will be showing the green card. At the end of 6th minute, I will show the yellow card, and at the end of 7th minute, I will be showing the red card. And for evaluations, we have 2 to 3 minutes. At the end of 2 minutes, I will be showing the green card. At 2 minutes 30 seconds, I will be showing the yellow card, and at 3 minutes, I will be showing the red card. So at the end of the meeting, while the GE calls me, I will be presenting the timer report for all the speeches. Thank you.
That was a great, clear explanation from the timer. I'm sure nobody has any doubt regarding the timing aspect now. Secondly, this role player is a chartered accountant, currently focused on improving her communication skills and building her own consultancy firm. She loves watching movies and she says that brings out the creativity in her. So what glitters most for her is the freedom to choose her path and to create her own life. That's Toastmaster Nandini Devi.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Thank you, Toastmaster Pravina, for the introduction. So today I'll be performing as a Toastmaster. Sorry, today I'll be performing as the R counter. So yeah, when I first started speaking in English, I didn't realize that I was often using the words like so oftenly. Even now, I'm using those words because even today I still catch myself using them, but I'm learning to overcome it. That's where the role of R counter comes in. Okay, my role is today is to bring the awareness to these habits. I will be listening for filler words used by the speakers such as and, so, will, but, you know, along with sounds like I will also note repeated words or phrases like I, and this means like that. We have to understand this, the goal is not to eliminate these words completely. We have to use the passes meaningfully and avoid overusing the fillers. So I will be mentioning when the speakers overuse the words. And at the end of the meeting, I will share a report on how often these expressions are used. Thank you for the opportunity.
It was very nicely explained, Nandini. She very importantly said it doesn't mean you don't have to use these words, but don't keep using it very often. That was very well said. Thank you. Now for the next role player, the grammarian. He says he's a mundane, lazy guy looking for unique experience. There's nothing mundane about it. So what is the thing that glitters most for him? A unique, happy, first-time moment from childhood. He's got us really curious. We wish to know more about it in one of the subsequent speeches. But till then, as a grammarian, I would like to introduce Toastmaster Gautam.
Okay, so I'm very nervous, so please you have to give me some time. Okay, so your grammar is essential for precise, concise, and effective communication. So today I will be on the lookout for excellent use of grammar, and I'll be on the lookout for fresh use of words and vocabulary, and then I will be on the lookout for creative language as such. But I hope see simple, elegant sentences. It will not be very complicated. Okay, and then I'll be on the lookout for mainly for subject-verb agreement. Subject-verb agreement where you will have the answers to the questions who or what. Subject-verb agreement. Then you've got tenses. Tense is very important. So you have to know when it happened, future, past, present. You have to know exactly when it happened. Then there are obviously prepositions. The prepositions will answer the question why, where, how, everything. Okay, so that has to be very clear. And then obviously the usage of articles, unnecessary use of the articles. That's also important. So these are the grammar is a very, very vast ocean, but I'm sure that this will cover most of the problems if you cover these. Okay, so I'll be now using the word of the day. I hope you can see this, quintessential. So please don't throw stones at me. I hope it's not too long. Quintessential, Quintessential. Okay, quintessential. Anybody knows what it means? So quintessential means it's again a perfect example of something. Okay, so it means so you can substitute it with ultimate. Okay, so for example, idli sambar is the ultimate South Indian breakfast. Okay, Taj Mahal is Vatican ultimate, sorry, again, quintessential symbol of love. Johnny Walker is quintessential.
Quintessential cuisine.
Johnny Walker is
Johnny-
whiskey.
I don't drink that much.
Not his favorite brand.
And then, yeah, so Budweiser is the quintessential beer. Okay, so let's have fun. With Graham. Thank you.
Did he look like a person who said who was nervous? He's all got us in very high spirits already. And I think he was, till now in all my experience, I feel he's the only person who has truly introduced himself as a grammarian, using all parts of the grammar wherever possible and giving a small gist. Thank you so much. Now we will move over to the speeches. So for that I would like to call the TMOD back again.
Thank you, Toastmaster Pravina Sil, for being quintessential in this meeting. I just wanted to use it very first. Now we move on to the first session of today's meeting, that is the prepared speech session. The first speaker, Toastmaster Nitin Kumar, will be giving his icebreaker speech. Before I call him upon, I would like to call his evaluated Toastmaster Balaji to read out the speech objective, please. Yeah, Balaji.
Yeah, Nitin is going to give the first speech, the icebreaker speech. The purpose of the project is for the member to introduce themselves to the club and learn the basic structure of the public speech. The timing is 4 to 6 minutes. The title is Run Out Without Batting.
Toastmaster Nitin Kumar is a software engineer from Noida. He joined our Medley Toastmasters Club just a couple of months ago. He wants to be a mentor and coach people in high performance. Initially, when he sees a situation, when we see a situation, we make judgment. But Toastmaster Nitin Kumar says that you go to the depth and you dig out the facts because the reality will be different. Don't judge anyone. Toastmaster Nitin Kumar, run out without batting. Run out without batting. Toastmaster Nitin Kumar.
I was in class 8th. One fine evening during summer vacation, I was playing cricket in my own home ground with my friends and cousin. My team opted to bowl. Others, of course, opponent batting. So one of my teammates threw the ball. Batsman swung the bat, hit the ball. Ball went all the way flying from my ground to veranda. This was for sure a 6, but this was not a normal 6. Good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. I'm Nitin. I've been born in a place called as Mirapur. That's a town area in with around 100,000 population under district Muzaffarnagar. District Muzaffarnagar is sugarcane belt of UP. UP is the most populous state in India. And the funny part is, if it would have been a country, it would have been the 5th largest country in the world. I have grown up in a big house. Let me share the topography of my house. This is the gate of my house. You enter, you see a big crowd. You turn left, you go right, then you see veranda. So ultimately, veranda and house are separated by, veranda and ground are separated by a wall, no cover. You go further, you see kitchen, go left, and all the rooms start from there. In this big house, we were around 26 people staying together under one roof. Yes, you heard it right, 26. My grandparents, my father, and my father had 5 siblings. Each of them having 2 kids. So ultimately we were 12 cousins. You know, 12 means a one cricket team under one roof with one extra. That's true. 12th man. Coming back to that evening, where my team member swing the ball, batsman swing the bat, hit the ball, and ball all the way went from ground to veranda. Me, being the fielder at the boundary, rushed towards veranda to pick the ball. Enter into the veranda, I started searching where is the ball, finally found it. I lifted, and as soon as I started getting straightened up, I felt there is lot of heat around. I started being curious, looking around what is going on. I scanned the place, and you know what I found? I see there is heated argument going on between my mom and dad. I decided this is none of my business. Straighten up, slowly and hurriedly started walking from veranda to ground, thinking they should not notice me. Few steps, I hear a sound. Hey, come this side. I turn around. It's my dad. I'm still holding the ball in my hand. My dad says, you also pack your bag. You are going to maternal uncle home. I said, maternal uncle home? I did not say this. These were the emotions coming out of my inside me. And there was a reason behind that. Because I have been grown up in such a big place where I had all the liberties and flexibility. Summer vacation have been like just play, eat, sleep, repeat, that's all. But in my maternal uncle place, I felt the environment was little restricted, reserved. I felt caged over there. So coming back to that point, still holding the ball. Now, dejected face, looked at my mom. Maternal uncle place? Really? My mom looked at me and just signaled. That signal means situation under control. I felt relaxed. Looked at my dad, said, okay. Turn around, rush towards the ground. Threw the ball towards the ground and asked everybody, guys, time to wrap up. Wrap up? My captain came rushing towards me. Wrap up? Have you gone crazy? No way. We are winning. We have controlled the game. We have made them restricted and we are winning. You know, next, you are going to bat. I looked at him and said, buddy, I'm already run out. My captain confused looked at me. Run out without batting? I said, yes. Let's wrap it up. Let's resume tomorrow. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nitin Kumar, for delivering a brilliant icebreaker speech, and welcome to the field of Toastmasters. Particularly what I liked in his speech was how he used the stage, went up and down through the veranda, and got the entire 2D plan of where his house was. It was truly a brilliant speech, Toastmaster Nitin Kumar. Our second speaker is Toastmaster Rajit. Before I call upon Toastmaster Rajit, I would like to call his evaluator, Toastmaster Karanjit, to deliver the speech about this.
Yes, the Toastmaster Rajit will be giving a speech title which is Stretch But Don't Snap. This will be for the project of writing a speech with. For this, purpose of this project is to learn or review basic methods for writing a speech with a defined purpose and present a well-organized speech on any topic. The duration is 5 to 7 minutes. This is level 1. Pathway is presentation mastery.
Toastmaster Rajit is an accidental IT professional. He is also a high-performance architect. And according to him, the value of gold lies because it's very scarce in nature and not because of the glitter. Toastmaster Rajit had also had an incident in life, particularly regarding the theme of the day, all that glitters is not gold, where he was supposedly an experienced and highly ethical life coach, wanted to hire him for his course, and he hired him, and he found it to be extremely disappointing. I hope that was not Toastmasters, because even Toastmasters had high performance leadership, but a great lesson for him not to fall into external appearance and speeches. Over to you, Toastmaster Aditya. Stretch but don't snap. Stretch but don't snap. Toastmaster Aditya.
Stretch, don't snap. So most of us think that high performance comes with pushing harder, doing more, working longer. If that was true, the most busiest people will be the quintessential successful people. Doing more, that's not true. Right? So in year 2016, when I really started running, I didn't know I can even run. The first run was just 3 kilometers. And today, this year, 2016, I completed 32 kilometers. Right? But the real finish line was not 32 kilometers, it was at kilometer 21. If the high performance feels like pushing harder, pressure, fear of missing out, multitasking, burnout, right? From outside it will look like quite successful, hard work and progress. But from inside, it will be pure exhaustion and all completely scattered. You might be asking, how do I know? Because I lived it. Right? So again, coming back to my running. So this year when I completed 32 kilometers, way back in 2016 when I started, I didn't even know I can even run 1 kilometer. So I started, eventually I did 3 kilometers. But right after 3 kilometers, I didn't go for 32. I just started adding 1 kilometer every week or two. Slowly stretching, enjoying the process. Adding a kilometer every week or two, and eventually after a few months, I touched 10 kilometers. Then I stayed with 10 for a few months. Again enjoying the process. Getting familiar, till 10 kilometers become natural to me. And eventually adding a kilometer after a year or a little over a year, I reached 21 kilometers. So, what it's saying is, you have to stretch, but do not snap it. Right? So, while it's this natural stretching of my running, I stumbled upon a very interesting phenomenon. A phenomenon which Hungarian-American psychologist Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi, he spent his almost a whole life studying it, and he called it something called flow state. So when the challenge is not up to your skill, you feel bored. But when the challenge overwhelms you to your skill, you feel anxious. And flow is basically a sweet spot right in between the challenge and the skill. Too much challenge, no, not much skill, you feel anxious, anxiety. Too little challenge in the skill, you feel that's boredom. Right? So when challenge and skills get balanced, the right sweet spot is where you experience flow. Right? But that's not, there's one more secret ingredient. The recent study by Stanford University found that challenge and skill just is not enough. There is something else. You need not know the ending, the end outcome. Right? What is that? That's uncertainty. When you mix challenge, skill and uncertainty, that's when the real flow starts. Right? Uncertainty, what it does, it ignites curiosity. curiosity sparks actions, engagement, and eventually the action engagement leads open to flow. Flow feels like effortless, time dissolves, complete focus, peak performance, peak output, pure presence. You forget everything around you, right? When you get into a state where you really forget about your surrounding, the space, right? That's what is flow. So we will come back to my running, okay, the 32 kilometers. At 21 kilometers, I started to feel little tired. But I had planned to complete my 32 in 4 hours 30 minutes. I was well within my range to complete it in 4 hours 30 minutes. But something inside me, 2 voices started to show up. So my head started to say, go for it, you can still make 4:30. But the heart started to say, it's not about the finish line. Experience the run, go with the flow. And I decided to go with the flow. When I started not to fight the clock, something in me started to shift. I started to slow down, started to feel lighter, my breath started to slow down, and one more thing, for the first time I started to smile at people around, people who are cheering for the people who are running on the roadside. So, and eventually I completed within 4 hours 45 minutes, 15 minutes more than what I initially planned. But that 15 minutes was not a failure, it was my flow state. So pressure basically makes you feel busy, while flow gets you focused. Pressure drains you, while flow energizes you. Eventually pressure will give you output, flow will give you performance. So flow doesn't come naturally, you create your flow. So I'm asking you to create your flow tomorrow. Take one task. Set aside around 1 hour, 45 minutes. Avoid distraction, keep your phone away, lock yourself in a room. Add the ingredient of uncertainty. You may not know the outcome. Right? Then try whether you are able to get into flow state. Right? Challenge your skill, embrace uncertainty, and stretch, enjoy the process, but do not snap. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ranjit, for really displaying to us how important to be in the flow state. Just as not only what we do, but how well we do is also very important. Kudos to you, Toastmaster Ranjit, for giving a brilliant speech and also motivating us for giving us this marathon, particularly 32 kilometers at the stage. Oh my God, I've hardly gone 2 or 3 games, but 32 kilometers is brilliant. Our final speaker today is Toastmaster Narendra. Before I call Toastmaster Narendra, I'd like to call upon his evaluate Toastmaster Jayashree to read up the objectives.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. Good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. Today, our dear friend Narendra is going to deliver a speech from the pathway Persuasive Influence, Level 3. It belongs to a special project called Successful Club Series, where he has got to choose one of the topics that is mentioned as part of this series. And he has chosen to deliver a speech on creating a best climate for the club as one of the topic. Timer, it is for 10 to 15 minutes. The purpose of this project is for the member to deliver an effective presentation from the Successful Club series by choosing one of the topics. Let's see how effective it is. Wishing you all the very best, Toastmaster.
Thank you, Toastmaster Jayashree. Toastmaster Narendra is not only the Vice President Dedication of Medley Toastmaster Club, professionally he is a software architect working in an MNC called Volunteers. He loves playing chess and watching Netflix series. He once had an intern who he thought was very playful and very casual, but to his surprise he performed very well in the team, and hence all the glitters is not gold. That was a team. Over to you, Toastmaster Narendra.
Thank you so much, Sri Modi. Good afternoon, everyone. So, how's the climate today? Very predictable question, right? Given that my topic is also creating the best club climate in way to think outside the box. But the reason why I asked that question is, just like how the climate outside determines our mood, the way we feel, and our experience, the club climate within these 4 walls determine how each and every one of us here feel, and the member or the guest experience that we get out of this. First, before I move forward, I would like to ask you all, like, what exactly is club climate? Anyone wants to take a stab at it? Or maybe I'll rephrase the question differently. What do you expect from a Medley meeting when you show up here every Saturday? Anyone?
Seeing this meeting from the beginning to the end.
Entertainment.
Entertainment, okay, yeah. Why not have some entertainment in the process of that? Very good. Okay. So what we are looking for in essence is a good member experience. And what is that member experience? How do you define it? A lot of people use this word member experience, guest experience, but what does it actually mean? So what it means is all of this, the time that you spend here and the money that you spend here, either as a guest fee or as a renewal fee, is it worth it? That is the first question. And the second question is, do you feel valued and do you feel comfortable, either as a guest or as a member? These are the 2 main elements that determine how we feel within the club. And this is what I would like to call as the club climate, basically how we feel. And that can be defined by these 2 questions. If the answer is yes to both of these questions, then we are doing all the things right. Otherwise, we need to introspect and look at what we're doing. Now, there were a lot of things mentioned in this manual about how to create the best club climate, but however, I would like to boil it down to just a few, based on my personal experience in Toastmasters so far. Of course, I know that I'm speaking in Medley, so after I'm done, I'm sure all of you experts will be having something to add on to whatever I say. And definitely, yes, you cannot summarize everything in just a 10-15 minute session. So I've done my best to capture a few. So I would like to get started off on these points that I think will help us in creating the best club climate where we can all enjoy, learn, and grow. The first thing, of course, the most crucial thing, is the attendance. Yes? Because what is a club without the members, right? Now, so I guess, like, who will we speak to? So the speakers need an audience to make them feel nervous, to make them feel tensed, to make them feel have that butterflies in the stomach, to test them and push them, and also to feed off of their energy. So without an audience, all of this would not amount to much, because public speaking requires the public, the audience. So showing up for a meeting is essential to make or to create a proper club climate. Now, a lot of people have this question. I'm not taking up any role today, so should I show up to the meeting? Yes, especially when you're not playing a role. That is when you should show up. Because when you're not playing a role, you don't have any anxiety of performance. Of course, there's a risk of being called up for table topics, that is there. But still, you could stay in the moment, you could observe, and you could really enjoy the speeches. You could soak it all in. Whereas when you're playing a role, you would either be thinking about what you're going to say, or you would go back, sit there, and think about what you said. So when you're not taking up a role, you should show up to the meeting even more so. Now again, please don't tell me that you're told that it's better to not take up a role, so I'm not taking up a role next week when I ask you for roles or speech notes next week. I'm just saying, on the off chance that you don't get any roles or any speech notes, please do show up for the meeting. It's beneficial for you as well as an audience. So what does it mean to show up for a meeting? Yes, we have the liberty of joining the meeting in between and also leaving it in between, as long as we don't disturb the speaker on the stage. But it's always good, it's always beneficial for us to stay on from the beginning till the end. It'll be great if we can schedule our personal commitments and professional commitments around this 3 to 5. Yes, there might be some unavoidable situations, but on the off chance that we can reschedule our commitments, it's best to go ahead and reschedule so that we can spend our time from 3 to 5 here with our undivided attention to improve ourselves, to test ourselves, and to learn from others. So let us join every meeting, let us engage ourselves in each and every meeting, and let us learn and grow together by participating equally in each of the meeting. The next thing that we need to create the best club climate is, of course, showing up fully prepared for every role and every speech that we deliver. The role players and speakers are the flag bearers of the club. I'm not saying this to put pressure, but whenever guests come to our meeting, they perceive or they form their impression about the club based on how the role players play their role and based on how the speakers deliver their speech. And also, there are about 53 members in Medley right now, if I'm not wrong. And in every meeting, only 12 or 14 people get the chance to stand here on this stage and perform. So it's a very rare opportunity. This space is very precious. So when we get that opportunity, let us come in fully prepared and let us make the most of it. And what does it mean to actually be prepared, right? So basically, I just kept saying, let's be prepared, but what does that mean? The first and the foremost thing when it comes to preparing either for a role or for a speech, it all starts with your interaction, your discussion with your mentor. The first thing is we need to understand what is the role that we are taking up. Every role is different that we play here at Toastmasters, and every role comes with its own unique responsibilities. Sometimes it will be easy for us to get caught up in the moment and do more than what is expected, or do something extra, or we might misunderstand the requirements of the role and we may not do enough. So which is why having this discussion with our mentors is very, very important before we deliver a speech and before we take up a role. So that way we can meet up the requirements for that role and also deliver that speech in a very, so that meets the speech objectives. So discussing with your mentor is very, very important. The next thing, of course, once you have that discussion, once you form the idea, write down your script. Now, if we have a script here, we definitely forget it. Whereas if we have it on a hard drive, it's very hard to lose it. So type up your script, send it to your mentor, let them review it, let them tell you if it meets the speech objectives, let them tell you if it will keep the audience engaged, or let them tell you how you can add more value to the audience with what you're trying to convey. So have the script reviewed by your mentor, and if possible, even you can record a video of your performance and send it to them so that you can work on the delivery aspects as well with your mentor before the meeting starts. That is the level of preparation that we must all aspire to put in. And of course, the next thing, like I said, practice. There's no alternate to this. There's no substitute to practicing. Even the speakers whom we look at and admire, and we're awestruck by them, right? So they also spend hours and hours in practicing. None of them show up without any practice. Usain Bolt, you all know, right? The way he runs his race. When he's about to reach the finish line, he turns back, he looks at the other athletes, and then he moves forward and then finishes the race. And everybody asks him, how are you pulling this off so easily? He'll say, I'm not doing this so easily. I'm spending hours and hours and hours preparing, practicing. That is the most difficult part. The race is the most easiest part. In the same way, preparing for a role or practicing for a speech, you should spend hours and hours in it so that you do the difficult work when no one is seeing it. And when you're on the stage, when everyone is seeing it, you can just come up and you can own the stage with your performance. And this will not only project the club in a good light, it will also give you a lot of confidence and will do you a world of good. So let us all practice, let us all show up to our club whenever we are assigned a role or we are about to deliver a speech with ample amount of preparation. The proper preparation is paramount to doing justice to the speech slot and to the roles that we get and for the time that we get here on the stage. That is the second thing, showing up prepared. And the next thing, perhaps one of the most important things, and sometimes the most undermined thing, it's networking. It is absolutely essential for the members of the club to get to know each other, to talk to each other, to be able to survive as a club. Imagine if we just come up, we show here, we just do our due diligence and then we leave. Beyond a certain point, we start feeling distant, we will not know each other, and after a certain point, there is a very good chance that the club may not survive. So networking is the cornerstone for a club to survive, and that is built through conversations and interactions that we need. Now I had the word quintessential already there, so I'm not going to use it because I came up here prepared. Don't consider it. And I have a few tips for networking. Of course, I'm not an expert here, but whatever I've observed over the years, I'd just like to share it. So the first thing is, show up early for a meeting. Have some casual conversation, help a role player or a speaker prepare, try to set up the stage. This will all help set up the mood for the meeting. The next thing is, listen and observe to each and every speech and performance intently. This will be a good fodder for conversation later on after the meeting is over. Imagine if you just go up to someone and say, hey, you did a good job, and you did not observe anything that they said. The conversation will end with that one sentence. But whereas if you observe, if you analyze, and if you learn, you can have a deeper conversation with whoever it is after the meeting is over. And of course, yes, when you reach out to a person whom you're appreciating or whom you're talking to, share your feedback with them. You can say, hey, you did this, you did that, I liked it, and here's something that you could maybe want in your future speech. Of course, we have an evaluator to give the feedback, but every one of us are an evaluator for each of the other speakers. And that is why we are here, to help each other learn and improve. So I would say, let us all share some valuable feedback and insights at the end of each meeting, because that adds more value to our lessons. The next thing is, if you're just interacting for these 2 hours, then we'll only get acquaintances. We will not get friends. We will not gel, or we will not bond with the members. Of course, we may not hit it off with everyone in the club, but there will be certain people with whom we connect better. Form a friendship with them. You never know. You might end up, becoming their business partner, or you could end up doing something even greater with them beyond the club. There are stories like that have happened here in Toastmasters. So continue your conversations or interactions and take your friendship to even outside the club after these 2 hours are done. So let us all network, let us all bond, let us all build friendships that will last beyond the club and that will help us come together as a club. The next thing that I would like to touch upon is that there is a leader in each and every one of us. Whether we acknowledge it or not, whether we think so or not, in every situation in our life, be personal or professional, we are practicing leadership in our own little way. So awaken that leader within you. When you awaken that leader within you, you actually strengthen the environment around you. So there is also this, this dogma that some people have, which is, I'm just here to improve my communication skills. I don't want to focus on leadership. It's not like Toastmasters is going to give us a discount because we are really going to focus on communication track. So let us make the most out of the money that we have and try and step into leadership as well. It's no big deal. Just like how we are here to speak and fail, we are also here to lead and fail and learn from those mistakes so that we won't make it outside. So please join up and contribute to the club leadership. And what are the ways in which you can do this? Of course, being a part of the XCOM, obviously, you can join up and you can serve a position as an XCOM officer. Now, I know that some of you might have some reservations about it, that it might require a lot of commitment and a lot of effort. Yes, it does. But you should also be looking at what you're getting in return for it. Tomorrow, if some of you have some entrepreneurial aspirations, or if you're going to become a manager or a vice president or a chairman in your company, you can start off on step 10, whereas others will be starting off on step 0, step 1. So that is the benefit that it gives you. So it's worth the investment. It may be difficult while you're doing it. It's just like in the gym, when you're doing your reps, it might be difficult, but after you do it, you feel better. So the same way, it might be difficult when you're doing it, but after you've done it, you feel that it's worth the money. And of course, you can also be a part of the subcommittee. Every executive committee has a subcommittee. You can join the subcommittee and contribute to the club in your own way. And then, of course, mentoring, the most underestimated form of leadership. Mentoring is the only form of leadership for which there's not too much recognition within Toastmasters. I mean, we don't get any money out of it, and when compared to the other awards, I hope that there will be an award for mentors as well, but we say that we do it in the spirit of giving back. So mentoring sometimes is not, I mean, it gets overlooked a little when we speak about leadership, but mentors are also leaders in their own way. Because there are so many mentors who build so many XCOM officers, who build so many area directors, division directors, district officers and whatnot. So mentoring, so you can, once you reach level 2 or other, if you, after you complete the pathway, you could try out mentoring if you're interested. And of course, providing feedbacks and input for every meeting. Yes, we have a general evaluator who will be doing just that, but that doesn't mean that we just have to come passively observe and go. The way we feel collectively is very important, and that can only be known if you share your feedback and input after every meeting, possibly with either an XCOM officer or with your mentor, so that it goes to your XCOM officer or anyone you feel comfortable with. But everyone's feedback is valuable. And also in a business session, let us not just passively observe what is happening, let us actively contribute. I'm not saying that we have to say something purely for the sake of saying it, but if we have something valuable to say, let's not worry about what the implications will be, let's just go ahead and say. So let us actively participate in club leadership and contribute to club leadership in some capacity or the other. The last but not the least, Atiti Devo Bhava, which means guest is God. Now, Toastmasters is a very egalitarian fraternity where no one is above the other. Yes, members and guests are both equally important. But the reason why I say that is in our culture, we've been taught that the most important person in the house is the guest. And this is our home in Toastmasters, so the most important people here are the guests. Let's make them feel comfortable, let's make them feel that they're welcome, and let's let them also feel like they are a part of the club even before they join it. Now, how can we do this? Welcome the guests with a smile and introduce them, or introduce yourself to them first, and then introduce them to the other members and make them sit beside a Toastmaster so that they can understand what is happening in a meeting exactly. And invite them up for table topics. This is something that we generally do. In every meeting, I would say that guests sometimes participate more than the members in table topics. So we definitely do this. And then at the end of the meeting, ask them about their experience. So this is something, these are the points that I've noted down based on the experience that I've had in Medley. So there's a big tick for all of these things since we're doing it already. So let us continue to do it, and let us make sure that the guests also feel welcome and invited for every meeting. Now, finally, the most important thing with respect to a club climate is the moments of truth. Now, in every term, there will be at least one Moments of Truth meeting held, and that is perhaps the most important meeting. Let us show up for the Moments of Meeting where we evaluate our club climate and evaluate how we are doing as a club without any filters or without any preconceptions or any reservations. Now, if you don't show up for Moments of Truth, it's like paying your taxes but not voting. So let us exercise this opportunity to show, voice out our opinions in a public forum. So please do show up for the Moments of Truth. Every term it happens. Guests are also welcome to join, and in fact there is a section in Moments of Truth purely for guests where the guests contribute their inputs. So I would also suggest the guests to join if they're available. So block out your calendar. Every term at the beginning, a term calendar will be released where you will be knowing when the Moments of Truth will happen. Block out your calendar during that time. So yes, please do join in for the Moments of Truth. Finally, I would like to conclude by saying that I had a very contentious statement at the beginning: what you sow is what you reap. With respect to the club climate and the member experience, it's not something that you get from somebody outside. It is what we put in, what as our investment. That is what we get back as a member experience. So let us sow good things into the club to the best of our abilities, so that we reap good things back. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Narendra, for a really speech about the club climate. Particularly, there are two things which I like in the speech. For example, you mentioned why it is important to attend the meeting even when there is no role given. And the second is taking an XCOM role and how it empowers us and how much we learn about it. Kudos to you again, Toastmaster Manager, for that well-delivered speech. Timer, can you please mention the name of the qualified prepared speakers?
Toastmaster Nitish and Toastmaster Ranjit are qualified speakers.
Yeah. I request all the members and the guests to vote for the best prepared speaker. For the guests, the sheet will be given, and for the members, the link will be there on WhatsApp. I'm sure that it is shared. Personally, I feel that all three prepared speeches were golden and brilliant speeches, and all three speeches sparkled. Now we are moving to the second session of today's meeting. That is the impromptu speech session, the table topic session. Toastmaster Anish will be doing it. A brief introduction about him. He is one of the young and most energetic Toastmasters. He is studying Bachelor Business Administration first year, right? And he wants to complete pathways ASAP in Gen Z term as soon as possible. Loves to hear stories, so I wanted to do a table topic master today. For him, not everything that is attractive or valuable is really valuable. I am sure that he doesn't mean girls. Over to you, Toastmaster Anish.
Hello Toastmasters and guests, good afternoon. Good afternoon. It's table topic session. The exciting session for me and a terrifying session for you. Before we start this session, let me tell you what table topic session is. This is a session after prepared speeches. In this session, the table topic master, in this case me, will be calling members and guests who will speak to the stage. And I will be giving a topic and encourage you to talk for 2 minutes. The timing for this table topic is you will be qualified if you speak for 1 minute. I request all the guests and members to talk for at least 1 minute. Whether you know or you don't know, you are encouraged to talk for 1 minute. So with no further ado, let's begin the table topic session. The first unluckiest speaker is Toastmaster Venkatesh. The topic is, if someone lies to protect you, is it right or wrong? If someone lies to protect you, is it right or wrong?
Thank you for this topic. What you mentioned is I'm a lucky person, but I feel that I'm a lucky person to be the number one in table topics. For speaker position, I don't know about that. Yes, they used to say that in Tirupur, but I never. If you want to help others, help others in some other way, you can tell lies, but in the positive way. If somebody is chasing to murder someone else, if you want to cover that person inside your house and you can say that that person is not available here, he is gone out that side of, you can divert the other person to save him. That's why they used to say that. If I read about that principle, you can do it for the good things, you can tell lies. But in my personal experience, you are not supposed to tell lies for anything else, either in the office or in the house or any other thing. Because if you tell lies, it's very difficult. I would like to tell you a small story, the myth only, it's not a real story. One 10-year-old boy in the villages used to say that tiger has come, tiger has come. Only 20 families were there. Everyone thought that okay, because tiger has come. Once they joined together one midnight and they are waiting for the tiger. On that time, he said that it's a big story. He said for fun only because I want to collect all those people here and there. The next time then he was calling, really tiger has come. That is why in the villages they never believe that is speech. I mean,
is inviting everyone, but no one conclude that he is an honest boy because he used to tell lies. That is why always say truth. That will help you to enhance your life. Thank you. Thank you.
Amazing. The moral was, even if you lie to protect someone, then you lose his trust. If you lose, if you lie, his trust. The second speaker is Toastmaster TV Darshan. Topic is, do you think social media shows real life or fake version?
Do you think social media shows real life or fake version?
Good afternoon, Toastmasters and dear guests. I would like to say that social media, in my opinion, is a mirror. It shows you what you want to see and what you don't want to see sometimes. And when I believe that it is like the mirror, it definitely will not hide what you want to see, and what definitely it will provide you with the information and everything that you want to know. And how you perceive those things in social media is up to you. You are in charge for it, you are responsible for it. And social media, as it develops, it has many features where we can customize it for our own preferences. And the social media is very wide, so it has different platforms, and different platforms it provides achieves certain purposes. So if you feel like in Twitter, sometimes you will see the real version of what is happening, and if you see in reels and all that is like Instagram, you have to experience like which you might get in your feed something that you like and be funny, something like that. And I feel like watching reel is a potential job for a student, and I believe social media is a thing of today's age, and it's really important for all of us to be engaged with it, because what you see is what you know about yourself, and it definitely shows what you want to know, be it real version or the fake version. Thank you.
The next speaker is guest Prashant. The topic is, would you choose a high-paying job you hate or a simple job you love?
This is kind of relatable to me because I'm an architect, and like you know how Indian parents work, right? You do engineering and then do whatever you want. So I had to do architect for my parents. Then my passion is always filmmaking.
Would you choose a high-paying job you hate or a simple job you love?
Okay. So architect is also not a high-paying job, but I would suggest whether it pays or not, do what your heart says, because when you work with your heart, it doesn't feel like you're working. So my only suggestion is pay. Of course, it's important, but your passion is more important. You being happy is more important. So do what you like. So my story, like I said, it's kind of a combination. I did biology in school, architect, then into filmmaking. Even after going through ups and downs, in the end of the day, I chose my heart. So I think that's what is important.
Next speaker is guest Deepa. Topic is, are luxury brands really worth the hype? Are luxury brands really worth the hype?
Hi everyone, I'm very new decision. So yeah, okay, I will start off with what I am wearing right now. So this is a costly t-shirt in my opinion, gifted by one of my friends. So for me, I see things as like how it is, what are the value that it adds to me. So for me, a dress is just to cover up our body. So that's how I usually use it to think. But when my friend suggested that like you should present yourself like wherever you go. Say for example, we are going into a meeting, we are just being casual. So the dress that we wear will show like the confidence that we are currently lacking, right? So in that sense, the luxury brands, if they add the strong value that we are currently lacking, or like the things that we are currently losing, then why not give it a try? So it's also up to the individual, like the term luxury differs, right? So for one person, 1,000 rupees is a luxury, and for another person, like just 500 is also a luxury. So in a way, the value that we get out of it, and whether that value aligns with what we are currently going through in the current phase of life is really mattering to us. So yeah, I will say as far as the luxury is adding a strong value to us, and it is aligning with what we are currently doing as a profession, then it is also going. Thank you.
Next speaker is Guest and Julie. The topic is, do you think first impression matters too much in today's world? Do you think first impression matters too much in today's world?
And I think it's still an important part when we meet someone or when we make an acquaintance with someone, that our impression is good. But I do believe we put too much importance into the first impression, because if there is effort involved, if there is sincerity involved, then I do believe it's alright if you make a slip up in your first impression. If you put in enough time and effort to develop a relationship later on in your subsequent meetings. Because yes, if it was a very bad first impression, then obviously it's very hard to recover from it. But I believe sincerity is the key in this situation, where maybe you don't know all the circumstances of the other person. You might have been on your best impression that day, but the other person was not in the state of mind to receive your presentation. Or maybe you two are just not compatible. So I believe the first interaction is not enough all the time to decide whether there is compatibility, whether there is chemistry. So it's always a best choice to give another chance. That's what I think.
Next speaker is Just English. What is the one truth about life that people usually ignore? What is the one truth about life that people usually ignore?
Good afternoon, Toastmasters and guests. The one thing which
one truth about life that people usually ignore.
The one truth about life which people usually ignore is the satisfaction. Like people run beyond different things which gives value, or which gives financial, or which gives which doesn't matter too much. The only thing which everybody needs is a self-satisfaction. Beyond this, whatever, like excluding self-satisfaction, which even if you earn too much, and even if you build so much wealth, or even if you build so much fame or name, it doesn't matter. The only thing which matters is that what you think about yourself. It is a very essential thing that everybody should have from and also that the most important thing is you have to be satisfied even by doing the smallest thing or the hardest work. You have to be satisfied by both ends.
It is not only that if you do the thing which gives you acquaintance, then it is not that. It is not like that. You have to be satisfied in whatever things you do. Thank you.
Next speaker is guest Hari. Do you think fame always brings happiness? Do you think fame always brings happiness?
First of all, good evening to everyone. To answer your question, I don't think fame always brings happiness to us. Okay, let's take the case of whatever I'm gonna say now. This is not to hurt anyone's feelings. Let's take the case of actor Vijay. When he said that he's gonna enter films, I mean, people started taking his personal life, and then we all know what happened recently, and then it was all over the news. And let's say if he was a normal citizen like all of us, this wouldn't have been the case. Just because he was a celebrity, people started making it big, and then the opposition parties used this as a tool to defame him and to bring publicity to themselves. And I don't think, in his case, fame does not always bring happiness. So, yeah, this can be, on a positive side or as well as a negative side. In his case, not a positive side. Yeah, thank you.
Speaker is guest Kavita. Topic is, have you ever been influenced by acts and later regretted it? Have you ever been influenced by acts and later regretted it?
Good evening, Toastmasters and guests. Yes, I was influenced by ads. I was inspired, not just ads, so many things in life we get influenced. I get easily influenced because I love everybody. That's my basic quality. And later, people at home will criticize me. Ads, I did get influenced by, so many, almost every ad I get influence. Like, and as an example, if I have to give an example, there is a vegetable cutter. That ad came. And like me, I have seen so many other, victims also like me. Buy it, use it, and give nicely, wash it, clean it, wrap it in a gift, and gift it to some nearest possible occasion, you gift it off. I did that. Not once, twice, more than 4-5 times I have done this. Because some other new product comes and I do it, and I landed, regretted it, certainly regretted it. And in fact, later I started advising people, don't go for vegetable cutters or usual regular knife and cutting board is the best. Thank you.
Next speaker is Toastmaster Abhinaya. The topic is, have you ever trusted something that looks perfect but wasn't? Have you ever trusted something that looked perfect but wasn't?
That's an interesting topic. Okay, so looked at something which looks perfect and did I trust it? Yes. So obviously we know skincare has become a huge trend right now. Currently Korean skincare and all of this everywhere. There's always a review, constantly someone recommending. And that's something, I looked at it. I looked at the reviews, I looked at the product, it was expensive. But all the reviews made it look so perfect. I was like, if I have this product, then I'll have the best skincare. And that's what I fell for. And I trusted it blindly because that's the trend, right? Everyone is talking about it. So I put in a lot of money, bought a product which was very fancy and which looked perfect, the perfect cover, the perfect bottle, everything was perfect. But when I tried it on, I realized that it was just similar to any other moisturizer which I could have got from any other brand, which would have saved me a lot of money, and would have done the exact same thing that this expensive product which I purchased would have done for me. And I realized after that purchase, after experiencing that skincare, I realized, okay, not everything that is like perfect looking on the outside doesn't have to be the one which is required for you. Maybe something which you get every day, maybe a drugstore moisturizer could have also worked well for me. And I did not think in that aspect because the packaging and all this other advertising along with it made it feel that, okay, this is what I need to be able to get what I want, which is perfect fit. So, thank you.
Next speaker is guest Shruti. Question is, tell about a time when your first impression about someone was completely wrong. Tell about a time when your first impression about someone was completely wrong.
Good evening, Toastmasters and guests. I'm Shruti. So my topic is tell about a time where my first impression was completely wrong. To start with, like when I was like 3 or 4 years back, I used to judge people very frequently. I used to look at them and say, hey, why are they behaving like this? Why are they doing this? And then I used to go to cafes and I used to travel alone and then I used to like judge people. But then once I was sitting in a cafe and I was looking at someone and I was constantly judging about like how they were conversing with another person. But then after some time passed, they came to me. I was able to understand that they were going through something where that is why they had behaved a certain way. So which made me realize that judging someone without knowing what they are going through is very wrong.
Next speaker is guest Rizwan. If you could teach one lesson to people about judging, what would it be? If you could teach one lesson to people about judging things, then what would it be?
Before start the meeting, I told all of you, so I'm the ex-Toastmaster, I'm from the Madras Toastmaster. I just want to explore the other club, how it's functioning. And I just want to understand the speakers and role players, how they are performing. So I think years back I came to this Medley Toastmaster. Ma'am, when someone table topping master called for the ma'am, she came here. That time I was thinking she is very reserved. She won't speak that much. When she get on the stage, when she started to speak about the table topic just given by the table topic master, she was speaking like a prepared speech. I thought this is the table topic sessions. It's an impromptu. Wherever you go, wherever club you go. So that butterfly in your stomach should happen. But when ma'am came onto the stage, because nothing happened. Just smiling, she said, I'm ready. I have to do that. So that was when I get into the room, I was looking for her only. So to answer to your table topic, I don't judge anybody. I don't want to judge anybody. So after seeing her, she shows the reality. So that is the reality. Over to you.
Can we have one final guest? Good topic is, can you tell what is the journey you will never journey you will never forget? Yeah.
This is Vimla here. I've been as a guest for quite a few times here. So on the topic that Anish gave was
what is the journey you will never forget?
Okay, a journey that I would never forget. Okay. So this was during the COVID times, and I think they really started off opening up certain temples at a very less frequent time, right? So we actually started out from Chennai, and we were actually planning to reach Orissa. We wanted to see Puri Jagannath. So we were absolutely not sure how it all functions and all of that. We tried calling a lot of people, but we couldn't get an idea. But somehow we started. It was the December last week. You go into the holidays, and we said, let's go. We'll figure out on the way. So we kept on calling, as in whether the temple is open and all of that. But as we started, it was via Vijayawada. We should then go to Vizag. It was a car journey. Okay, so then as we went and halted in Vizag. From there, then we started calling and checking. Then ultimately, there also we have never got any idea of whether it's open or not. But then my husband's friends were there, so they had reached there and they said it's not open. And it's like particularly the day that we went there, going there is definitely not open because of some function around. So as we started, we were not clear as in where we will go, but we know that's the journey. And we ended up doing putting a stay there in Vizag. Then return we went to Vijayawada and then came back. So it was half the way we planned, we came back. But it was real fun because it was all your car journey, you had the family with you, had a pet with us, and that was an experience I will not forget.
So Toastmasters and guests, the table topic session has come to an end. I hope this session gave you a few chuckles and most importantly hinted you towards the topic of today, the theme of today. All glitters are not gold. Over to you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, table topic master Anish, for delivering a brilliant table topic session. And what I particularly liked about this table topic session was that nearly I think we had 12 to 13 members being called upon for the table topic session. So it was well participated by everyone. And all the topics also I liked very much, especially. And also one of our topic, our president himself came into the I was telling her whether she gave money to praise. So, but anyway, actually she's the hat-trick. She has won 3 times consecutive table topic champion in our club.
Give a big round of applause.
So I just wanted to tell that to you. Timer, can you mention the name of the qualified table topic speakers?
Toastmaster Venkatesan, Toastmaster Divya Darshini, guest Prashant, guest Deepak, guest Paranjoshi, guest Vignesh, guest Hariharan, guest Kavita, Toastmaster Abhinaya, guest Rizwan, guest Vimala. All are qualified now.
Thank you, Timer. I would request everyone to vote for the best table topic speaker, please. The guests can write down later. We now move on to the final session of today's meeting, that is the evaluation of the prepared speech session. For this, I call upon our general evaluator, Toastmaster Pravina Sridhar.
Good evening once again. So initially we saw the first set of role players under the evaluation category, which were a timer, a counter and grammarian. So now we move on to the second part of the role players who will be evaluating the speakers now, because every speaker has to know how well they fared and where all they can improve. So to do that, we are going to call the evaluators one by one to give the feedback to our speakers in a nice way, where we are not going to be rude to the extent that, oh my god, what have I done, I'm not going to come here again. No, they will be actually fired up to ensure that they come back and give an even better speech. So that is how the evaluation or the feedback is always going to be in Toastmasters, very empathetic. So the first evaluator, he is a Chennaiite working in a digital marketing firm and he runs online ads. His passion is photography and that's what glitters and stands out because the expressions and the lovely captures of this portrait photography is something to die for, which everyone needs to definitely look at. This is none other than Toastmaster Balaji, who is going to evaluate for speaker Toastmaster Nitin. Toastmaster Balaji.
One second. Good evening, Toastmasters and dear guests. Today, I had pleasure of listening to Nitin's speech. Right from the starting, his opening was strong and engaging. As the title suggests, cricket, he beautifully connected his hometown, home and family with the cricket. This made the speech was very relatable and enjoyable. One thing I really appreciated was his usage of the stage. He did not just stand and speak, he brought the story alive. Through his action of bowling and batting, we could clearly visualize the scene. As a cricket lover, I personally enjoyed that a lot. His eye contact was really good. He connected well with the audience across the room. It made us feel involved in his story. His body language added a story positive impact. They supported his content and made the speech more engaging. Also, his comfort level was impressive. He appeared comfortable and he delivered the natural way of speech. Now, the final part, the improvement. Couple of suggestions. I think due to the time constraint, it felt like the speech was wrapped up quickly. Also, the main thing is the conclusion. Since this icebreaker speech, the mentioning why he did not join Toastmaster, he did not mention that. Overall, I really appreciate the speech. It was engaging, energetic, and delivered well. Next speech, please conclude it well and all the best for your next speech. Thank you.
The next evaluator, he is a freelance marketing consultant helping businesses with their marketing operations. So according to him, what glitters most, it is the character and integrity of people, because it's only good character and consistency that has a lasting impression, much more than gold and silver. Moreover, gold and silver keeps fluctuating, whereas our character, if it doesn't fluctuate, what more do we? Yes. So over to Toastmaster Karanji, who's going to evaluate speaker Toastmaster Ranjit.
Good evening all. Good evening, Toastmasters again, especially Ranjit. Thank you for such an inspiring speech that you gave today. I really enjoyed it for the most part. And partly I think you transferred performance from a race against time into a journey of rhythm, growth and flow. I love the term hustle and flow because I think hustling is when you do paper topics and flow when you get into prepared speeches. So I think you did that perfectly well. The word flow sat with me throughout the entire speech. And you know, in a world that celebrates busyness, hustle, you remind us that true performance is not about doing more, it's about doing better. And I think one of the greatest strengths tonight was your authenticity. In the sense that your story started with 3 kilometers in 2016 and then it's progressing to 50 kilometers this year. It gave your speech credibility and inspired, I think, some people here. especially me, considering I'm on my own weight loss journey, so thank you for that. You didn't just tell us theory, you showed us what snake growth looks like. Which is, by the way, I'm also doing the same for myself, so data is very important. So, there's a conservative commentator named Ben Shapiro. He says facts don't care about your feelings, but you backed up your feelings with your facts. So I appreciate that. Another strength was your use of research. Now, I cannot pronounce the name of the person that did this, so for me it's a very long name. But the concept of what he was talking about, it elevated the speech. It's just into meaningful learning. It's not just a personal story, it's just about how we can all learn from it. And you explained how little challenge leads to boredom, too much creates anxiety, but the right balance creates peak performance. So that I thought was really good. Overall, your speech was well organized, and you challenged the myth of constant busyness, moved into your personal running journey, and you concluded with practical action steps. The structure as a whole, it was just easy to follow. Now, in terms of improvement, I would say maybe just wanted to add one more thing. You started the speech with the use of rubber band. It was a great way. I wish you had done a little bit more of that, brought a little bit more of physical activity that could have enhanced the speech more, but that's just a minor quibble. I would say the pacing could have been better. You had a lot of excellent ideas, but it was like you're going 1, 2, 3, 4, and it's not, it could be preferred a little bit, slow down a little bit in certain places. And by using certain words, sure. So, overall, I feel, success is not all about pushing harder, but in learning how to stretch and when to breathe and when to go. So, thank you for that.
Now we have the next evaluator, who's the shining star, not only of Medley, but wherever she goes, be it personal, professional, being a president over here. And I keep wondering, how does she get so much of energy to do everything, right? So there is one thing that really stands out and makes her glitter internally and externally. That is the healthy lifestyle that she follows. So here we have Toastmaster Jayashree, who is going to evaluate Speaker Toastmaster Narendra.
Today, I understood that creating the best club climate is more like a gardening. You need to sow the right seeds, unweed the unwanted seeds, plus also nourish the soil. At least that's what Naren made me to realize in this 15 minutes of his speech, and thank you for delivering those valuable insights, Naren. For the seeds that has been sown throughout his speech that I like the most, I want to share that as commendations. The first seed is a seed of preparedness. Right from the beginning, the way he opened by comparing this climate to the climate outside, I think that was a brilliant analogy, and that got us hooked throughout. That shows your preparedness. And also throughout the speech, he had a proper structure. Like, this is what is club climate, why it is important, and how can we. That structure showed his preparedness, and that made us also to sit along with him for the next 15 minutes. Kudos to you for that. The second is a seed of presentation. He used a presentation which is very formal. The tone was clear. It had only 2 colors. One was white, other one is a bluish one. He didn't have a lot of colors, which made it evident, which made it clear for me to also follow. Always let's stick to 1 or 2 colors as the mantra, and he did really bring in that in his presentation. That helped me to also follow him throughout the speech. Kudos to you for that. The third is a seed of effectiveness. Now, can anyone tell me what was Naren's last 20 seconds all about?
Yes.
Yes. Aditi Devo. as the name of our guest. So he was able to bring the effectiveness in his speech by making sure that he's emphasizing on the important points towards the last and brought us our attention before that point, making sure that we're all aligned to this point. So that showed his effectiveness in the last, even in the last few minutes. Kudos to you. Now for the seeds that were sown, which nourished, what you could do as a nourishment to the soil to improve the other seeds that can nourish better. Here are my recommendations. Number 1, how many points did Naren talk about in his presentation? 7, 8. So this is what I want to tell. If you had gotten the summary of those pointers with an acronym, you had 5 major pointers, which I would call it as Sabna. Showing up, attendance, networking, becoming a leader, and Adit Devubhava. If you had brought that summary with an acronym, it would have been even more memorable for us. Number 1. Number 2 is, I know there are slides with just text. If you could add more visuals and also brought in your personal instances of how you have evolved here. Let's say, for example, I know Naren how he did join and then how he built his networking. If that story had been added, people would be even more interested to get more. So to summarize, there were seeds of preparedness, effectiveness. If you could work along a bit more to bring in personal experience, plus also summarize it, I'm sure the next harvest will be richer.
Thank you, Toastmaster Jayashree. So now with that, we have completed the evaluation part of the speakers. So now we move on again to the first 3 role players, because they have to come and tell us how we have fared in terms of timing, in terms of the repeated usage and filler words, and how good our grammar was. So first I would like to call Toastmaster Harini. The time.
Good evening, Toastmasters and fellow guests. Now I am going to read the time report. I am going to start with the presiding officer, Toastmaster Rajashekaran. He took 6 minutes. He completed his speech well within his time. TM Moody of the day, he used overall 20 minutes well within his time overall. GE and tag role player during her introduction, she took 11 minutes 28 seconds overall. And now coming to the next section, prepared speeches. Speaker number 1, Toastmaster Nitin, took 4 minutes 30 seconds. He qualified, he had some more time. He finished his speech with the green card. Toastmaster Ranjit, speaker 2, he took 7 minutes 23 seconds. And table topic master, Toastmaster Anish, overall took 25 minutes, well within the time what was planned. Now let's look at the table topic speakers, how much time they took. Toastmaster Venkatesan took 2 minutes 3 seconds. Toastmaster Divya Dashmi took 1 minute 48 seconds. Yes, Prashant took 1 minute 13 seconds. Yes, Deepak took 1 minute 27 seconds. Yes, Karan Joshi took 1 minute 26 seconds. Yes, Vignesh took 1 minute 30 seconds. Yes, Hariharan took 1 minute. Yes, Avita took 1 minute 19 seconds. Toastmaster Abhinaya took 1 minute 30 seconds. Yes, Shruti took 53 seconds. Yes, Rizwan took 1 minute 53 seconds. And yes, Vimala took 2 minutes 4 seconds. I missed to mention Toastmaster Narendra's timer. In his prepared speech, he took overall 19 minutes 48 seconds. Now coming to evaluators. Evaluator 1, Toastmaster Balaji took 2 minutes 5 seconds. Evaluator 2, Toastmaster Karanji took 3 minutes 14 seconds. And Evaluator 3, Toastmaster Jayashree took 3 minutes 39 seconds. With this, I will conclude my timer's report. Thank you all.
Next we call the R-Pounder, Toastmaster Nandini.
Hello everyone. So I'm Nandini. I'm back with the
this report for the day. So today all the speakers were quite essential, and because it is difficult for me to note down for the purpose speeches, note down the filler words. Okay. So for me, like I'll note down for I'll share the report. Abhinaya, Toastmaster Abhinaya used the word "are" 3 times and "so" 2 times, and Rajshekaran used "so" 3 times, and Dinesh used "are" 5+ times, and he also used "and" and "ends" words simultaneously. And Toastmaster Pravina used "you know" 3 times, and "so" 2 times, and "like" 3 times. And Harni used "are" 3 times, and "so" 3 times. And Gautam used "hum" 2 times. Mithun Kumar used "are" 1 time and "hum" 1 time. Karanjit used "are" 3 times and "hum" 3 times, and "you know" 2 times. Ranjit used "are" 2 times and "so" 5+ times, and Narendra used "are" 1 time and "so" 3 times. And Jayashree used "are" 1 time. Anish used "are" 2 times, "so" 1 time. Balaji used "are" 5+ times and "so" 2 times. Thank you.
So now we call the grammarian, Toastmaster Gordon.
So here I have got the word. Okay, so I can use it. With Jayashree is the quintessential speaker. Nobody used it. Okay. First, I will. So Nitin Kumar, I mean, his use of adjectives were brilliant. You can just describe anything like anything. Wonderful. Yeah, you can work on your subject verb agreement a bit. Otherwise, it is fine. And then a little bit of preposition, unnecessary prepositions. Otherwise, brilliant. Then coming to Ranjit, I also like his suit. It was good. Other than his grammar, it was good. Suit, pretty good. Where the suit? No, suit, right? Okay, so what I liked about Ranjit was he had to use very short sentences, so that was always in his favor. That's good. And sometimes he tends to use the word even a bit more, so you can just avoid that. And then what I especially like the usage of the word breath and breathe exactly, because people make that mistake. Breathe exactly the verb form and breath exactly the noun form. That's good. Narendra, perfect. That's perfect. I couldn't see anything wrong with this vocabulary. Perfect. The only thing is the only mistake I found is at least for the one word in this presentation. It's 2 words. And then he used the word dogma. Good, that's a very good word to use, dogma. Anish was good. Anish was perfect English. Ravina as usual, I'm of character. It's perfect. And among the guest speakers, Pran Joshi is perfect grammar. And I just envy all these table topic speakers. They just come and speak what they want. I can't do that. I don't know how you manage to do it. Then he used the word slip up, acquaintance, sincerity, excellent vocabulary. Then Hariharan, Vignesh, excellent vocabulary. Abhinaya, what I liked her I liked her tables more than her, what's the thing it was, Rajendra. More than that, I liked this better than that. It's good. Shruti, perfect vocabulary, excellent. And Rizwan, I mean, I've not seen a perfect compliment in this. I've not heard a perfect compliment. I was crying. So I thought he might propose next. Okay. G. Vimala, simple sentences. Actually, I got a lot of information here, and I don't think 4 minutes is enough. Maybe almost half an hour. Balaji was good. Among the evaluators, Balaji has improved from last time. Well, Balaji. Good, really good. So you can work on your tenses more. Always good. Karamjeet, I mean, I always find your accent a bit. I mean, I have to really concentrate on what you're saying. So it's almost like British English. Very good, really good. And a perfect vocabulary. Jayashree too, perfect vocabulary. There's nothing fine. Perfect. Thank you.
So now we have come to the end of okay. Yeah, can you please spell out the qualified?
Qualified evaluators are Toastmaster Balaji and Toastmaster Karanji.
Okay, now that we have completed with both the sets of role players, so now it's time for me to give my general evaluation about the entire session. So now we will start with the positives, and most of it is positives, and the rest will be just some minor recommendations. Okay, so the agenda, thanks to Toastmaster Naren, the VPE, the agenda was circulated well in advance, and he did a great job of coordinating with everyone. It's not easy being a VPE, like he had mentioned. We started on time, and the Sergeant at Arms, Toastmaster Afinia, in her colorful outfit, made this start also quite colorful. The only recommendation that I have for her is, you said, I request you guys to switch off the mobile. Guys is slightly informal for this setup. Maybe you can say request you all to switch off the mobile. Acting President Rajshekharan, you did a great job. I think you have not done much of a presidential address, so for that it was really nice. So maybe Jayashree can take off every now and then and give Rajshekharan a chance to come and display his acting skills. And I like your story where you drew a parallel between the car wiper to Toastmasters. That was a very interesting comparison. PMOD Dinesh, wow, what a wonderful topic. And explanation of all the glitters is not gold, where he told us how he got this particular phrase, and also gave so many anecdotes, and he spoke in a really clear, loud, booming voice. It was, I mean, wherever you are, even if you're sleeping, you have to just wake up and listen to Toastmaster Dinesh, and he did a great job. You were great, wonderful. Table topics, Anish. A typical intro from Anish, which was really charming. Just one suggestion, I really cannot hear much of what Gen Z talks, because I have my sons, they are also Gen Z. I can barely hear, and I actually thought I had to go meet an ENT, but one of my friends, she went before me because she had the same problem, and ENT said, you're fine, it's just that there's a problem with Gen Z, they can barely open their mouth and talk. So please, there are people like us, so slightly increase your volume. Otherwise, great topics, and I think even the guests all were really comfortable with the topic, and it's not easy having so many topics for so many people. Kudos to you. Evaluator 1, Balaji. A nice structure, great. Oh, he went, okay. Yeah, he gave a decent set of commendations and recommendations, and it had a good structure. The only recommendation that I would like to give Toastmaster Nitin is, being an icebreaker speech, maybe you can give slightly more about your family, what your parents do, if you have a sibling. Slightly, yours was perfect for a project speech with body language, voice modulation. So that was more like the objective, whereas for icebreaker, actually along with whatever you did, if you could have added something more about your family and your education, your background, that would have helped us to know you much better. Evaluator 2, Karanjit, it was a very nice analysis of the speaker. You really went into the details of each and every aspect of whatever he said. It was a very good explanation from you. The only recommendation that I can give to the speaker is certain slides, the fonts were really small. Maybe you can just improve on that. That was the only thing you missed, otherwise it was excellent. And as for Jayashri, I really don't have to say, so she used the gardener approach to sort out the good seeds from the seeds which needs nourishment. She never said bad seeds, she said seeds that require nourishment. So that is how a sandwich approach is normally used in evaluation. The timer, counter, grammarian were all great, and I had already mentioned in the beginning itself, and grammarian, he used humor plus grammar. That's a deadly combination. So we never felt bored. I was wondering, oh my god, it's going to be a complete grammar class, but he used great humor. I think you plan to become a stand-up comedian? Yeah, you have it in you. Seriously. Okay. And where else do you think we can improve? I think it's good if all of us note the objectives, etc. in the notebook rather than scroll, search for it in our mobile. That really doesn't look too very nice. It feels like as if it's all rushed. We never really gave much time to whatever we have to do, and we are rushing things. So it's always better to use the good old pen and paper. Though we might be tech savvy, it really lets us down at the last minute. Let's try to avoid using bags that cause a lot of noise. You know, that kind of sound, especially when somebody is speaking over here. Maybe cloth bags are much better. Yeah, some speakers, it will be good if we are aware of how much time we take, because as it is, it's a lengthy speech and it went beyond that by 5 minutes. So we could have used that 5 minutes for another segment, an interesting segment, wherein we could have had a game or something like that. And it will be really useful for the guests. They will also have a better vibe, being the first time that many of them are coming to Medley. Let's avoid cross communication. There was a lot of cross communication that happened. So apart from that, I think we are all on time. With the red over there, I think I'm still on time. I've just taken the extra grace 30 seconds. Thank you. Over to the TMOD.
Thank you. My closing thoughts on the theme of the day: all that glitters is not gold. Just like how in a personal and professional life, even in Toastmasters, people overestimate what they can do in 6 months after joining Toastmasters and underestimate what they can do in 6 years. In 6 months, they want to be the Tony Robbins or Barack Obama, but it's not possible at all to be like that. Only after taking communication and leadership roles over a period of time, they can really become a good speaker and a good communicator. Just like how gold initially is in a form of a gold or a metallic process, it goes through several industrial processes to become a gold. So we take up many roles within the Toastmasters and both communication and leadership roles. Then only we can become a better speaker and a better communicator. So the glitter is being a good communicator and good public speaker. But the process of finding the goal is to extract ourselves by exposing ourselves much more to this stage. With this final thought, I really love today's meeting, and I will request everyone to vote for the best role player. That is me, Toastmaster of the day, CJ Dinesh Shekhar, General Evaluator Toastmaster Pravina Sriram, and the Table Topic Master Toastmaster Ravi Sharma. I am sure that you already voted for the best speaker, best table topic speaker, best evaluator, the best role player. Thank you. Over to you, presiding officer Toastmaster Rajasek.
Thank you, Dinesh Shekhar, for playing this word. So first of all, I want to thank all the Toastmasters and role players and very importantly guests to make this meeting very memorable. So I want to hear some guest feedback. Can I call guest feedback? So feedback about our day speaking and what was important.
So this was my very first session, so I I imagine something like pretty informal, like we're visiting another tree, having casual conversations. Once I stepped in front of the door, I realized, oh my god, I should have been on time and I've been this professionally. And I am missing many things more. Like I will try to improve the next time. And I really like the way how it is being structured. Like everyone is taking up a role and everyone is focusing a certain aspect of our communication. And they properly analyze and they are coming prepared. Say for example, if someone is evaluating grammar, let's say, so they do some research, like they come up with the things that they need to evaluate, or be it evaluating the words that we often use that we shouldn't use. Like so, like we are coming prepared. Like these are all the words, these are all the figures that we are evaluating against each speaker. So as an individual, if I try to do these things on my own, like I am just imagining how much time it would be taking, like how difficult it would be. So, but seeing it from a third person perspective of how things are going around, like I pretty much enjoy. Thank you.
I'm very happy to know that you had a good time. So I want to hear one more feedback. Yes, Harika.
First of all, I came very late. I was searching for the address. I got lost along the way. Then I had a very good experience. All the presentations, the speeches were planned very well. Then I personally liked, I'm sorry, your good name is Nitin, his speech. I mean, all those actions and everything, he made it so lively. And then I loved it. Yeah, thank you for the experience. Looking forward to the
Good to hear the guest feedbacks. Now we will move on to some recognitions. Actually, there are few Toastmasters, they have completed their levels actually. And first one is Toastmaster Balaji, he's completed Presentation Mastery Level 1. To add to that, actually he, how many people have seen him, I'm not sure, during the meeting. So he started with taking photographs and uploading in our group. And he is a SAA for our club actually. So he used to contact to our vendor and get the snacks ready that he already done. And in between he have done an evaluation also. So the second person, Toastmaster Karanjit, is completing his level 1 in dynamic leadership. And Toastmaster Narendra is completed his level 3 in persuasive leadership. So it's time to recognize some first time gold players. So we have our counter Nandini Devi. Gautam and evaluators Toastmaster Balaji and Toastmaster Karanji. And the most important thing, the breaking the ice is not easy, and he felt like it's not his first speech, right? So in Toastmaster tradition, we give a standing ovation for the icebreaker speech. Please. We had a great meeting and had a great time. So what makes this meeting more memorable? So that's our awards again. I'm just waiting for the degrees comments. Yes. impact speaker goes to Toastmaster Nitin. So best TD speaker goes to Toastmaster Abhinaya. So best tag reply goes to Toastmaster Gautam. So best evaluator goes to Toastmaster Karanchi. So there is heavy competition in best role player because we have seen how our TMOD performed and our GE how they perform. So the best role player goes to Toastmaster Pravina. So with this we are come to our end of the meeting, and thank you each and everyone for turning up and made this meeting memorable. So with this sound of scale, I declare this meeting, adjourn this meeting. 8:70. Please stay here for the group photograph, then we will go for